Greetings everyone, it's me Gigglim, and well, I figured it's time to revisit a ROM hack that I tried making a complete playthrough of, but my internet wasn't exactly ideal, and I didn't really have any options to basically be able to do this in full. It's time to do an old ROM hack, and well, that's just rude. But yeah. It's time for Sonic 30-Day Challenge Revisited by Psycho Skater. And this is a very old ROM hack. Now, this game is a bit loud, so give me a second. Do it. So, yeah, this was a ROM hack that was a revisit of a much older ROM hack. I'm not sure if that version of the ROM hack is still existent, but basically it applies like 256 plus changes to the game, and it was made in only a month, complete with brand new music and such. So, yeah. Like, shoot. I want to say you can change your character. But, yeah, there are multiple characters, but I think you access them through the character select. So let me get accustomed to the character. Okay, this one is just go straight down. And this one is going straight left. And this one double jumps. Okay, let me make sure I have that memorized. So yeah, this was a ROM hack I wanted to do. I wanted to make 4 different guides with, like, with each character. And there are 4 characters within this ROM hack. And I'll just tell you the truth, I am a bit washed up when it comes to Sonic ROM hacking, because or Sonic ROM hack playing, because I don't really play them as much as I used to. Like, we're talking about someone who hasn't played these games, or hasn't like dedicated their channel to these in like over like almost 15 years. I was a teenager when when these ROM hacks were new. And, well, let me just tell you the truth that the landscape for ROM hacking has changed, like, significantly from 2011 to now. We're getting more advanced ROM hacks, especially with the fact that these games have been decompiled. And I'm talking more than just the iOS version. Let me just do this. So yeah. The reason why, to show how old school I'm going, I'm using a keyboard for this, so you're going to hear me use my, blue, one keyboard a lot. You're going to be hearing blue clicky keys a lot. Like, I struggle to play even Sonic games on, like, a proper controller. Not to say that I can't do it. I have technically beaten a story mode for Sonic Superstars. And here's me forgetting that I'm supposed to light jump. And fail the jump completely. Good job, me. Yeah. Wait. But yeah. So I wanted to use this, like, in particular April Fool's Day romp about stuff I wanted to do, but my internet could not allow me to upload it, considering that if I dare upload a video, I basically take up all the bandwidth, and unfortunately, my brothers wanted to just do nothing but play online all day, and I wasn't able to upload a single video for the longest time. I had to wait for those rare days where I was the only one in the house and I could do this kind of stuff. I didn't have access to stuff like, oh, I don't know, stuff like, say, like thumb drives or anything, or thinking to use the school computers for that. So, unfortunately, because of my circumstances, I was unable to do stuff like keep the yearly tradition of the Sonic Hack Glitch Showcase, where I would look through a bunch of Sonic ROM hacks I would like to play around with and show off glitches that may have slipped through the cracks. So unfortunately, I never continued the series beyond 2013. And I wanted to. I really do. Like, I even... I wanted to just ask others for help and such for basically trying to find trying to find glitches that they've encountered and such. And, yeah. Like, that video was probably one of my more popular ones from, like, my teenage years. Like, when I made that video, I was just barely starting high school. I was just a freshman. But now, here I am, playing an almost 2-decade ROM hack. It's going to get to the point where 2010 was 20 years ago. And we're only in 2025. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I'm going to break up each of the recordings by zone, and then you're going to see the full thing once I put it together. So yeah. I'm going to try to do my best, but I am going to be looking at a particular video guide to find each of the emeralds and such. Because I do remember playing this a lot back in the day. It was an entirely different landscape. I was an idiotic teenager that just lurked on Retro's forums and such. And I never ended up really learning learning the ropes to something. I just tried to jump in and just made something just very very glitchy or something. I don't think I have access to that particular attempt at a ROM hack. It's nothing special. It's just me poorly editing just Emerald Hill Zone's layout. It's not drag and drop, as young me would soon find out. So, yeah. My other plan for this series, and there was another series that I wanted to do, but also that plan fell through. That series would have been this game. I would have done a little bit of a I'm stuck here. Oh, never mind. That plan would have been that of a guide with each of the 4 playable characters. The thing is, looking back at it now, like, I get the 30-day, limit to this kind of stuff. But, the main issue would have been that, of the fact that Sonic is really the only character that's made for this particular ROM hack. Like, sure, you have Tails, he can fly, but it's not exactly the best programmed and such. And then you have Sonic 2 Sonic. Yeah, there's a second Sonic known as Sonic 2. And it's literally just Sonic with only the spin dash, as it were for Sonic 2 and such. And then you have okay, so it doesn't teleport you back if you have the Emerald. That's what that monitor is meant to do. But then you have Mighty, who is just Sonic 1 Sonic. He doesn't have any abilities. I know, like, if it were up to me, at least I would have made Mighty Sonic 3 Sonic, give him the freaking instant shield or something. But I digress. Like, I know that a lot more can be done with Sonic 1 ROM hacking and such. And yeah. Oh, that's not supposed to look like that. If this doesn't look right on the capture, I'll probably do something to basically fix it and such. It's just I've having issues with OBS as of lately. More so because of trying to make sure I focus on the window for 60 FPS capture and such. But now I think I have to go back for... dang it. I'm so used to taking the high paths and such. So yeah. Oops. Now, I don't know what causes this to happen, but for some reason, it triggers the, little screen lock in boss music much earlier than it's supposed to. But yeah, here is Checker Wrecker. No different from the original. There we go. So yeah, I will take a bit of a break to cut the recording, and I will see you with Marble Zone. So I'm gonna let this result screen play, and I'll be back in a moment. And so here we are with Marble Zone, and there is a little secret here that I definitely knew of for the longest time. Hopefully it will spawn, because I've had it not spawn before. So yeah, this is probably my favorite of the zone redesigns, but I'm gonna tell you this right now, don't expect every zone to get like some sort of like visual touch-up. Like as you saw from Green Hill Zone, only Act 1 and 2 got visual touch-ups, and Act 2 was just basically putting Splash Hill into and it didn't spawn again. I'm gonna reload the state and see if it spawns that time. See? I don't know why it decides not to spawn unless I reload it. I don't know what's going on. But I think that removes the requirement of needing the emerald every time I go through that zone. For each of the zones and such. And one thing I didn't know is that you can definitely rack up a serious number of lives in this ROM hack. Now, since I'm talking about ROM hack plans, I did try my hand at trying to speedrun the games. Like, this was at the time where Nakash or NK1331? Or, I can't remember their original username for it, but here's the one Easter egg, like the one secret here. You can see Nineco's cat, you see RetroHack, you see Marky Jester here. I don't know what Marky is up to nowadays. Now for the worst special stage in Sonic 1. This special stage sucks for one reason alone. Its size. So, here's what you have to deal with. Basically, you're in the same room as the Emerald, and let's not immediately fall into the goal areas. Dang it. here's the problem. Because of the rotating maze, it's likely, like, influenced by games like, I want to say Camel Tech. Like, it was I want to say it was an old Taito game. Oh gosh, I am very, very, nervous here. You have these little diamonds you have to break and such. Come on, Sonic. Nope, nope. Yeah. Ooh, I'm not sure how YouTube's captions are going to fix that. Good thing I have a certain, like, certain, like, thing turned on. There we go. Oh! Man, am I gonna have to lower the volume on certain parts of it. Anywho. Now I can go back to that room, and the 1-ups will respawn. But yeah. I don't know what those two are up to. I know that supposedly Psycho Skater is composing music nowadays. I think they go by Tone Turner now. I want to say, ooh gosh, oh, that was the wrong button. The problem is that most of the documentation for this ROM hack, aside from the thread on Sonic Retro, is kind of lost. Like, there's no exact, there's like nothing that allows me to see, how, Sonic controls, and there you go, there's your, emerald right here. Hypothetically, you can choose to just skip half the entire zone, or, 75% of it, because it literally takes you to the final stretch of, Act 1, and yeah. Let's try that again. Is it because it's above the ground? Well, okay, I'll just do a roll. I want to say the little signpost hopping is probably based on the Game Gear games. But yeah. But that secret I've known about for a while, and good job me. I have a lot of lives to burn, so yeah. I am a bit washed up in terms of playing Sonic ROM hacks. I don't really play them liberally, like, anymore. I want to play them, I just lack the time for them. And, like, I see a lot of incredible stuff. I've not even played through Hellfire Saga in full, and I want to. But maybe I should probably do a first impression on South Island Definitive, or South Island Exploration as it's called now, to talk about Sonic 1 ROM hack that I'm really looking forward to. Because I was all into these back in the day. Like, Mega G-Wolf. Like, you've heard of him? He used to cover these a lot. He had, like, over 100 videos in his series. Like, from the good to the... oh gosh. Oh. Why must I make my, my trek through these special stages anxiety-driven? And I'm the one that prefers Sonic 1 over Sonic 2. Yeah, I'm probably that weird folk that prefers this game over the sequel, but I have my reasons for it. But yeah, maybe someday. Like, I want to do some things, but I need the time for them. And of course, me, who lost control, had no ability to basically gain back control unless it meant damaging myself. because I wasn't in a checkpoint, I was at the start of the zone and such. And I will say, when they were leading up to the release of this, some of the music covers they were showing off, including some of the original music, like, they were good stuff. Like, I especially love how they recomposed the Marble Zone. I want to say Marble Garden. It is my favorite zone from Sonic 3. I loved the music for it for the longest time, but now I'm spoiled by like, the Reloaded cover and, of course, the Sean Evans version from the Wolfle soundtrack. Which, if you have played Ring Racers, you may know that song from that track. Like, I've been needing to just get back to recording for another channel. I have recorded the entire game for another channel. I've had several stuff just waiting for years. Oh yeah, see this spring? It's a trap to prevent you from going forward. But so is also someone outside of another person's house with a bat. If you know the Miiverse post, you know. Another ROM hack I wanted to do a full playthrough of was Sonic 3 Complete. I've had up to, like, Marble Garden Zone covered, but I've only uploaded just Angel Island. The idea is that I was going to make it, like, zone by zone, but unfortunately the bandwidth, and considering I lived in the house of brothers that wanted to do nothing but play online all the darn time, well, it prevented me from even uploading a video because of how much bandwidth it takes. Just starting upload is enough to enrage one. A story for later, I guess. But, yeah. While you can find the original thread for Sonic 30-Day Revisited, you may have to look elsewhere for it. I cannot tell you directly how to get this, simply because I am playing on an emulator. This is, like, while emulators are still legit, the way you have to get certain games is less than legit. So just to keep my channel, all I can say is just look for it yourself. Yeah, you'll be able to get it that way. But I cannot say anything further than that. So, yeah. Good job, me. All I can say is just look for it yourself. That's all I can say. Oy. While you can still play Sonic 3 Complete, you can also load, like, ROMs, off of a modded Sega Genesis Mini, like, either the Model 1 or the Model 2. Thank goodness Sega decided to get, M2 to work on that instead. I will say that, you are not short of options to play Sonic 3 now. Like, you could play it off of, shoot, I went the wrong way. Okay, let me just die. There we go. You can play it off of Sonic Origins if you so wish. But that is the best legitimate option. But if you bought the Steam version of Sonic 3 Complete before it got delisted, like I did, you should probably check out Sonic 3 Air, which is a decomp of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, essentially being that iOS port that never was. There's like a long story behind that, so, like, the reason why the Sonic 3 alternate soundtrack exists, the music licensing. And the reason why, it took so long for Sonic 3 to get re-released is because of that. The reason why Sonic 3 was never added to any sort of Sega Genesis Mini. It's all because of music licensing and for a few of the zones. And when they did change the music, it's called Please just let someone else handle the music. Because it's bad. Like, there's a reason why I don't want to get Sonic Origins and such. Like, I don't think I could run it off my PC, and nor do I want to have to deal with the very, very bad music or scuffed parts of Origins on console. Like, it just makes me sad that that's the state that's in. So, yeah. Gotta be careful around here. Like, as soon as you have an opening... the frames... Oh. I have no rings, and oh gosh. Where are the rings? My gosh, where are some rings? I have no rings and I have to do this boss fight without it. Oh no. Oh, okay, there's a checkpoint here. Yeah. I think this is called Lava Dropper. I could be wrong though. One of my friends knows Sonic 1 more than I do from names. And the double jump just kind of breaks this boss. But yeah, with that being said, I'll be back after a break, and I'll see you with Spring Yard Zone. And look at the statues here. Yep. Welcome to Spring Yard Zone. So, now there isn't much different with Spring Yard Zone, aside from a few layout differences. But we're already going to begin with a special stage. And it's special stage 4. Or, no, I think it's special stage 5. We just did special stage 4 last zone. And, I don't know... I tend to get stage 4 and stage 5, confused a lot. And for some reason there was this, like, invisible barrier, for one of the areas. Because, I'd say it's probably because of how similar they are in layout or something. But, yeah. Sonic, no. Oh, I think I know why it's sped up a bit. I picked up the speed shoes. And we already restart at the very beginning of Spring Yard Zone. So yeah. We can do this again, but we won't re-trigger the special stage. I'm gonna need a certain sound effect a little bit later. Like, when you have enough speed, you can easily, like, skip certain sections of the zone. And there isn't really that much different. I already know where the emerald is. I do know that, like, there are some visual changes. Like, you can see through the stage terrain, but it's not much. Like, I can only assume because of the time limit imposed, they probably didn't have enough time to give each zone its attention. So, yeah. But, yeah. Like, the landscape of ROM hacks have definitely changed from, year to year. Like, I wanted to explain why I wasn't able to continue, the Sonic Hack Glitch Showcase, on a yearly basis for every time my birthday rolled around. Simply put, Because of how much I felt demotivated, demotivated because I felt like I was unable to just, upload videos on a consistent schedule because of family. I never really had the chance to try to play through enough new ROM hacks, or ROM hacks I've never really played before now, and see if there were any, any particular changes or anything. I was more so looking for stuff where it's like funny happenings within the showcase and such, and I never ended up being able to look around enough to do a Sonic Hack Glitch Showcase 2013. And huh? Oh! That didn't load! Oh. I'm hoping I don't have to find the emerald again. Because if I do, that's going to annoy me. I know I picked up the one thing, but... Ow! Rude. And, yeah, the signpost fell through the floor. Yeah, I'm glad I caught that. I was talking about glitches and then that happened. In terms of custom music, aside from the music you can listen to on the jukebox, there isn't really anything... There isn't really going to be anything after Labyrinth Zone. Because this particular zone, and by the way, I want to let you all know that Special Stage 6 is the layout to the bonus stage of the slot bonus stage of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I hope I can find another special stage thing, because... Ay, ay, ay. Anywho. Like, I was unable to do a Sonic Hack Glitch Show 2013, and on top of that, let's just say I didn't even know about OBS at the time. I'm not sure when it was, like, released. I was looking for good, like, screen recording software and such, and nobody even, like, talked about how to record with Fraps, because for the longest time I thought it was Fraps that you record with, but there was, like, nothing I could find, no record buttons or anything. Remember, I was a teenager. I didn't know a lot of stuff, and I was a bit wary about, browsing the internet, because the internet can be a very volatile space if you're not careful. So, yeah. So, let's just... So, I really wish I did continue it, but at the same time, because those days were far behind me, I don't really see a good point in continuing it now. Huh. I guess that's new to this zone. Oh, ooh, ah. I don't know what's causing those checkpoints to not load correctly. But at the very least it makes this particular boss a bit of a... This boss is cake because of Sonic's new abilities. I I don't know the name of all the bosses. Again, like, these bosses aren't covered as much as, say the Checker Wrecker. But with that being said, I will take a break and I'll see you with Labyrinth Zone. Welcome to Labyrinth Zone, probably one of my least favorite zones in the game for one bug that was never fixed. We'll get to that when we get to Act 2. Act 1 is going to be very, very short because you already found the emerald. Now all you need to do is just play the rest of the zone normally. Fortunately, because of Sonic's other abilities, the underwater is a bit more trivial. It's like, say, Sonic Colors, only your double jump in the underwater is not infinite. So, basically, after that little mishap, good job me. Basically what you want to do here is this, but we don't have to take this platform. We can just, not double jump? Okay, we have to take this platform then. And then we can just continue going up, because there will be a platform up here. I've known about this platform for longer than that one person made that one video. I knew about this shortcut. I knew about this shortcut for the longest time. And, oh wait, I already have all the emeralds. Yeah, I knew about the shortcut. I knew about that shortcut for the longest time. It's basically my way of skipping Labyrinth Act 1. Unfortunately, Act 2 and Act 3 aren't going to fare much luckier. And I complete the zone with all my rings. And now we get to see another little design change. You see, I believe that's supposed to be Psycho Skater right there. Or Tone Turner, as he's known now. This particular zone has some issues that you're going to see here. Because the problem is that, if I don't exit this particular section correctly, well, I'm put into a bit of a soft lock. So, you see this right here? That's what happens. Yeah, I'm forced to die there. And back when I recorded that initial playthrough, that has been the cause of why it took so long for me to do this zone. And I never even got to doing the zone after it. So, unfortunately, this is a hard zone because of that particular thing that they never fixed. I've never seen, like, this is supposedly the bug fix version, and they never really fixed that, and I want to say it's probably because of the little, pathing from the secret. And I have lives to burn anyway, so I'll just cut to if I'm able to get out of there. So yeah, I can't get out. That's how bad this is.
20 minutes later.
You wanna know how bad that was? I used save states to get to that. I wanted to not use save states, but that literal pit right there is an actual bug that can force a player to lose a life. That's how bad that is, and it was never fixed. Now give me a moment to pause. And we're back. So yeah, that is a particularly nasty part that literally messed with all my recordings. Like, if you're seeing this now, it's after I got past that. That's how bad it was and such. So yeah, that little thing activates this secret. And you do run the risk of basically losing a life here. So yeah, I'm about to die. But fortunately, I am past that one part. I just lost 2 lives going to that secret. Good job, me. I am so sorry for how clumsy this playthrough is. So, yeah, I feel that there should have been, like, bubbles there and such. I'm sorry for giving you nightmares with that, but you know that this zone's just not fun no matter how you slice it. So, yeah. Ugh. Like, good thing this was not the second zone in the game. Like, if you ever activated the level select code in Sonic 1, you will know that, I fell for it. Good job, me. Like, all those lives I just got through that particular stage. The particular secret. They're all gone now. So, yeah. It's just this zone is what was the cause of a lot of my problems with recording this. Like, even back then. But the problem is that I never got around to continuing after that one because of how long it took. I just straight up forgot. And we're not even done with this zone. So now we're at the zone that starts off like launch base zone in terms of music, and we have Eggman signs. But yeah, we are now at Act 3 and such. We have this only time this particular thing appears, because it's never, like, it's only used once and never again. And it's a shame too, because it could have resulted in some more interesting zone ideas. I gotta make sure I get this. Because I tried my best not to use save states, but it's that particular case where it's just like, they never fixed it, and it's bothered me ever since. It's one of those things that I knew I was going to come up across and knew I was going to have trouble getting past. Oh. Come on. Let me back in. Emerald. Emerald, let me get the emerald. There! Now to turn this zone into a slot machine in 2 games. 3 games, technically. I forgot about CB. Anywho. Because there was no checkpoint, I had to do this particular part again, but it's not that far. So, yeah. Admittedly, it does... Oops. Screen wrapping, yay! Admittedly, it does feel, I feel like I'm treading old waters when I'm going back to, playing through old ROM hacks and such. But there are new ROM hacks I've been needing to try. There was also Sonic Save the Moon, but I did not like how long the second zone took. And of course, I've already talked about South Island Definitive. I can't wait to talk about that particular ROM hack. But, admittedly, I'm looking at a video to try to see where each of the emeralds are. Just so that way I don't have an issue trying to find it and make each particular section last way too long. So, yeah. Oh, great. Spike bug. Okay, one of my issues when it comes to Sonic 1 ROM hacks, can people stop keeping the spike bug for a change? Like, seriously, it's not a feature, it's a bug. And, oy. Like, you know that little spike behavior thing in S Factor? That thing doesn't work. I've pressed start and every button to change the spike behavior to Sonic 2, Sonic 2 when it said Sonic 2, and it's still Sonic 1. And that bothers me a lot. It's a shame that that S Factor is not exactly going to be finished anytime soon, because that is probably one of the best ROM hacks from that era. It was one of my favorites for a while and such. Ugh. No joke, that part just made me nervous right there. So, yeah. Like I know a lot of things have changed since then. Since, like, ROM hacks like these. You obviously have your character ROM hacks, your gimmick ROM hacks, and then ROM hacks that just basically test the limit of the system. Like, there's a reason why Marky Jester is synonymous with quality, because of their impressive technical prowess and such. So, yeah, if you don't get up there, that's a dead end, which is a bit antiquated looking at it now. But now we're about to fight the boss of this zone. And it's not really a boss, it's a platforming challenge. But the double jump makes this a joke. Like, even underwater. Because you don't really have to move much, you just have to dodge obstacles. Get back here! I didn't land all my hits. I barely sub-4'd that. Anyway, with that being said, I will see you with Starlight. And here we are with Starlight, which, if you know your Sonic 1, is where the only emerald is. I think you can barely notice the special stage, or the graphical difference with this one here is. This one shouldn't be that long, considering the emerald was at the very beginning of the stage. And Starlight is definitely more in line with how Green Hill and Starlight Zone, or Green Hill and Spring Yard tend to be. But that zone barely took any time. It's the second zone where we're going to run into our first issue, and it's not even Starlight Zone music. It's Panic Puppet from Sonic 3D Blast Sega Genesis version. You can definitely tell the difference in composer. This song was reused for a Sonic Adventure. It was, I believe, Twinkle Park. It was the cart kart mode, like where you have to go across the little kart race area, and then you reach the Twinkle Park itself. I've never played Sonic Adventure all the way through. I've seen it be played all the way through, but never really played it myself. I always thought that Speed Highway's little drop was really cool, and it still is. It's an iconic shot. It would be a crime to not have that if, because in Generations. But if all goes well, this may be one of the shorter areas to go through in this little romp. And wait a minute, this song does not fit this zone. This is Azure. This is Azure Lake from the Sonic 3 competition menu, or competition mode. The 5 zones exclusive to it. Now, our little emerald is actually around here, the lower path. I rarely take the lower path when it comes to these games, but they're there. And you got to make sure you jump on this little seesaw, and there's your emerald. So let's blaze on through to the boss, shall we? Because the boss, sorry. I got a little bit nervous because I know this zone has, bottomless pits and the like. Ooh! Ugh. Damage boosting? Oh, right. All these. So yeah, I'm practically just trying to speedrun through what's essentially nearly unchanged the level design. And of course, the boss, which is a joke because of Sonic's double jump. Normally the idea with this boss fight is that you're supposed to launch these exploding spike balls into him. However, or you jump yourself into them. However, because of Sonic's double jumping, it's a joke. But with that said, I will see you with the final zone of the game, Scrap Brain. And here we are, Scrap Brain Zone. A zone that's considered to be pretty difficult by many, and while it is the hardest level in the game, I played this game enough to know it by hand. It's not an issue for me. So, I wanted to check to make sure that I knew where one of the emeralds was, and fortunately, we only have 2 more emeralds to find to complete the zone. So, yeah, Scrap Brain Zone is definitely the final zone. It is fitting for a final zone. It's basically Robotnik just throwing everything at you and hoping that one of his traps will work. But unfortunately for him, he's dealing with a very persistent blue hedgehog. So, of course, these things are merely a test of Sonic's skill. And for as difficult as this is compared to the rest of the game, it's not the hardest zone for me. Sure, you have Labyrinth Zone with that one bug, but we're talking about a zone that's, more or less about the challenge ahead. So, yeah. The only thing that's changed with Scrap Brain Zone is basically you have cool looking palettes. You have that little face pattern in the background, the intentional pareidolia. And sometimes pareidolia is funny. You can just find some things that look like faces. For the longest time, that's how I used to see, cars a lot. You just see the headlights and the grille, and that's the face you get. But yeah. This one can... like, this one is probably the real final level. Because, like, Act 1 was just the warm-up. There are a lot more diabolical stuff here. It's impossible to get the special stage with, in the normal game because of the cutscene that follows. You're going to be going against Robotnik's, arsenal here. So, even if you lose your rings and don't get a bonus, you'll still be, like, what matters here is that you can get through the zone. And, unfortunately, I have to backtrack. I can't backtrack, can I? Dang it. I need to stop collecting that ring. So I can actually die. Because I know where one of the, there's no checkpoints! I never noticed that! Like, fortunately this zone is short, but... no checkpoint! Ah! Come on. I did think, the team did make a very, some technically impressive stuff for the time. But yeah. Yeah, like, you're soft locked there. I don't think there's a reset, monitor there. Ugh. But yeah. Ooh. Sorry, just... you'd think that would have been the place for an emerald there now, would you? Oh. Gotta be careful. Because I need to double jump with one of these areas. Because... there's the emerald. Now we can complete the zone. See, I apologize for the clumsy playing and such. Because the rules of the game are a bit different, I can afford to be less careful and such. Enjoy this song because you're not going to hear it in this ROM hack. So, here's what you have to do. Just get to the exit. That's it. And the reason why we're taking the this pathway first is because is the short way. So use the abilities to the fullest and get to the end. That's it. There's no emeralds to find. So, yeah. Ugh. Oh. Good thing we're not playing Sonic Genesis. Because it's time for Final Zone. And we have no rings. So, yeah. Final Zone, the minimum possible time is like a minute 12 seconds. Simply because you have to wait between the sparkles that try to hit you. And you have to make sure, because you're kind of playing a guessing game here with the power pistons. Like, this is the only other boss name I know of from Sonic 1. It's Power Piston, and it's Power Piston in Checker Record that I know of, not the rest of it. Well, except for Eggmobile from Labyrinth Zone, but that's about it. Now, there is a bit of a glitch that could happen, and I don't know how to trigger it, but I don't want to trigger it, because if I do, well, I have to hit the boss 256 times. But yeah, that's Sonic 1 30-Day Challenge Revisited. I hope you enjoyed this little trip with me past memory lane, because quite literally, this was a ROM hack I wanted to do a proper guide on, but because I wasn't able to, I wanted to remedy that with a bit of an April Fool's Day type of romp. So yeah, yeah, visual bugs. Yeah, I might have to screen cap that for the thumbnail. But yeah, that was Sonic 30-Day Challenge, and I will say this was a fun ROM hack because of all the changes it added and such. I would love to do more videos on Sonic ROM hacks again at some point, but my personal thing is that I'd rather focus on like other things at the moment, like proper Let's Plays and well, and extra videos for Crash Bandicoot Warped. I'm still working on that. Maybe another day before I can even start recording the next extra video. At the time of this, I barely started the one video, and I still need to continue it. It's the demos video. But yeah. I'm not done yet. I have the other characters to show, and I did have to do a bit of sleuthing to find this particular build in the ROM hack and such, because retro hack has been is like no longer a thing. But the difference 13 years can make. I want you to take a look at all the other stuff from all the other ROM hacks from this year onward and such, because it's impressive what Sonic ROM hacks have been able to accomplish and such, and even Sonic decomps and the like. So yeah, with that being said, and I'm not exactly done here yet, but I will see you for the bonus stuff. So back in a moment. And here we are with the level select for the game. Now, let me show you the other characters that I was struggling to try to get to show up in the game's option menu. So, let's say you want to play this game like it's pure Sonic 1. Well, let's select Mighty the Armadillo, or Sonic 1 Sonic. Mighty the Armadillo has no abilities. None. He is purely Sonic 1 Sonic. And that is a shame, because this could have been Sonic 3 Sonic instead, with the, say, Insta-Shield and everything. But this isn't Sonic Mega Mix, or Sonic Mania for that matter. This is Sonic 30-Day Revisited, and this is basically this game's hard mode, because you don't have the luxury of all those special abilities that give you a bit of an edge. Whoops. And there's me succumbing to the spike bug that I'm so sick of ROM hackers keeping in their ROM hacks. I know ROM hacking isn't easy, neither is game development, but still. Basically, because of the lack of instant speed options available, you kind of have to basically brute force your way into some extra momentum and such, which makes playing this a bit awkward. So, yeah. Now, it should be possible to play this with him. Like, my initial idea with a playthrough of Sonic 30-Day Revisited was basically making 4 different playthroughs where I play as each of the characters and such, which I wanted to have gotten done like all those years ago, but well, if only I had the best internet back then. I'm only able to do this now because the internet is much more feasible and such. So yeah. I apologize if the rain's gonna make it hard to see Mighty's signpost, but that's Mighty for you. It's just Sonic 1 Sonic. What if you wanted to play a Sonic with just the spin dash and nothing else? The most vanilla Sonic that isn't Sonic 1. Well, let's go to Starlight and show this one off. This is Sonic 2. This is basically Sonic 2 Sonic. Just the spin dash, nothing else. And this Sonic feels a bit redundant. Because this is basically the normal mode of this game. You just have only the spin dash. And of course it runs out. Basically, you have Sonic 2 with just the spin dash, and that's it. And there's not really much else beyond it. You just have the spin dash. You spin dash to your heart's content to basically get some instant speed, which is why a lot of Sonic ROM hacks put this in. Even the Sonic 1 ROM hacks, simply because you have that spin dash and you can use it to your heart's content to basically blaze through these zones. But that's Sonic 2. It's not even called Sonic 2 whenever you beat a zone. So, what's the 4th character? Well, Tails, of course. Let's show him off in Spring Yard. And he doesn't even have his own color. Tails here can fly, and he is a bit heavier than most Tails coding implementations. And, of course, this particular Flying Fox is basically just... It's the easy mode of the game, as if the base Sonic wasn't the easy mode already. And you can see that I'm using Tails' flight to basically skip the level. That's how you can cheese Sonic 1 if you've ever played a ROM hack with Tails in it. But, given that I still have to play a ROM hack with, or play a decomp of Sonic 1 with Tails as the main character, I know that I don't think I can just cheese the zones with Tails' flight. Tails really is the easy mode of the game, and I still have yet to play Sonic CD 2011 because of, well, I just never had the time to. I have it before it went, before it was, like, delisted, but yeah. That's about it for Tails, at least above ground. But how about we go to the Labyrinth Zone to see if he can swim? So, yeah. The Labyrinth Zone. We are back at this particular accursed zone for giving us trouble to the point where I need to use save states. And Tails' color isn't correct here. So can Tails fly? Or swim? Yeah, but he's rather heavy. It's not exactly one-to-one Tails and such. I can only guess 30-day time limit prevented prevented the access to time and such. But yeah, I really wanted to basically show off all the characters in a full playthrough, but if I was really bored, I'd do it, but I can only have so much patience for playing as a like an unchanged Sonic in a game where some liberties were taken to show that off. Ugh. Like, that is not exactly a perfect port of Tails swimming. Like, even the animation was a little bit faster. But, yeah, and I went into the special stage zone. Good job, me. Good freaking job. Ugh. Tails doesn't even have his tails in this. It looks so cursed. Like, sure, you have the brighter blues, which I do like, but it's so cursed here. Ugh. So, let's try that again, shall we? I will just cut to the end of the zone. See? You can just fly over here. I don't know why I went underwater for that. But yeah, if you want to donate, or actually, I should say, I should wait until I clear the zone for me to do that. So it feels so off, and I can tell the difference between the Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 sprites. So, if you want to donate, there are a couple links in the description below. You can ask to have your name be read by me in the future series. If you just tell me ahead of time, just let me know. Just let me know, and I'll make sure to read it within the next recording session. And yeah, any amount will help. If you want to follow this series and any others like it, it's just a click of the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be on your way. But you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. You don't have to do the donation or the subscribing. It's just the thought is appreciated. I hope you're taking really good care of yourself, and I bid you adieu.